Jeff, over $116,000 worth of comics just sold in 7 days. It's outstanding. Do you want to talk about them with me at my LCS?
Absolutely. We're at Mill Geek Comics. In at number 10, Daredevil number 1. First appearance of Daredevil, 1964. Issue number 1, $11,223 spent this week alone.
But Jeff, someone overpaid.
And that does happen often enough. And some people underpay. But let's talk about the numbers and see where we're at.
A 1.8 went for 15 hundo. That was a year high sale, up 9%. A 2.0 is up 33%. Another year high sale. A 4.0, year high sale, 42% increase, and a 5.5 sold for $36.99. That's up 1%. Obviously, Daredevil Born Again caused a lot of hype, but I think the thing that is actually impacting the comics most is that the lengthy delay just lined us up during the interim to be entertained still by the production currently happening for season 2. Seldomly do we hear rumors and see set pieces from a season 2 filming so close to the season 1 debut.
Like you're saying, because we know something's on the horizon so quickly, and I'm okay with books that are hyped up that are major keys. It's the ones that are the fringe you gotta kind of worry about. So seeing this book to continue, explode, and reach new highs isn't a surprise. It's a great thing, obviously, for the hobby in general. And again, so is that show.
Now, we did mention an overpayment, but I actually think more than one person paid more than they should have this week. The 4.0 went for $3,800. A 5.5 went for $37. You could have gotten that 4.0 for closer to $2,700. That's the 12-month average.
Not only was it an overpayment, unfortunately, it was also for a lesser quality copy of this book because it was cream to off-white. Not exactly where you want to be when you're overpaying on a book. If you're going to do that, usually it's a white pager or it's exceptional eye appeal. But we didn't get that with that because just the day prior, you could have bought that 4.0 for $2,400 and probably with better page quality. And 3 days prior to that, one went for $2,200.
Hit the subscribe button. We're gonna steer you right. Let's keep the Daredevil talk going because I think that the season 2 production and the information that we're getting out right now is causing Daredevil books, keys specifically, to maintain and still be of interest to collectors. Because at the list at number 9, we have Daredevil 131, the first appearance of Bullseye. It takes 3 sales to land above the recent 12-month average to land on our list. This book had 7 this week. We're gonna hit you with the highlights. The 8.0 is up 5%, the 8.5 is up 35%. That was a year high sale, and the 9.2 is up 19% for $5.25. Wilson Bethel's portrayal of Bullseye was one of the most memorable parts of Daredevil Born Again, and he's already being seen on set during the filming of season 2. There's more Bullseye coming.
And another thing that we're gonna be getting is Invincible. Here at number 8 is Invincible number 1. Over $10,000 above the 12-month average this week with only 8 sales to get to that number. This character has got such a bright future.
Right?
And we're going to talk about some of the numbers because Amazon has got to be smiling because their numbers are ridiculous and the earnings are extraordinary. Since season 1, Amazon has reported that Invincible has brought in $500 million in new subscriber revenue. Forbes reported Invincible is Amazon's best-rated top-tier show of all time, with 100% critical reviews for season 2 and 98% for season 3. And this most recent season has amassed 475 million minutes in view time.
We saw a 9.0 sell for $1,025. That's up 2% and closer to what the 9.4 was selling over the last year. The 9.4, speaking of which, sold for $2,025 this last week. That is up 75%. Was that an overpayment? Because the 9.4 has been going for $1,160 all year long, but 3 copies outdid that recent 12-month average. A 9.6 sold this last week for $2,650. That's up 53% when you compare it to that rolling 12-month. Now, Jeff, you told the community just a few weeks ago that if you can grab this book at a 9.8 for $4,000 or less, you think that they're gonna be sitting real well because of how optimistic you were for the future of this IP. So explain this. There was a recent $3,500 sale on my comic shop this week. Were you wrong?
Whoever got that book picked it up at a fantastic price. And that's the thing about where these books come from. My comic shop has an auction platform too, and I'm assuming this was an auction sale. And they're not as huge as Heritage and some of the other big ones, but they carry a name, and I think there's opportunity, because I've seen a lot of low sales for books come from my comic shop. Not only, because I've seen it on Heritage, and we will talk about that later in the show, about another book that kind of slipped under the radar. But congratulations, because the future for this book is bright, very, very, very bright.
Well, in March, there was a sale for $4,300, there was a sale for $5,000, and there was a sale for $4,450 according to GPA. I think, although some individuals on this list who purchased may have overspent, some are getting crazy steals.
Yeah, I was made fun of in the chat. Somebody said, like, who's selling that book for below $4? You just gotta wait till after the show, because things do happen and fall through the cracks. We did have 5 new 9/8 hit the census, so the census is still growing. So there's gonna be more opportunity, because people, they wanna cash out too and make some money.
Yo, if you like the videos we make, we've been doing these for over 7 years straight, every week without skipping a beat. The best way to support the channel is joining the Mystery Mail Call. This is our mystery box. Once a month, we hook up every member with 4 to 5 comics and an exclusive print. And the guarantee this month is a Tyler Kirkham homage to Amazing Spider-Man 316, a tribute to Todd McFarlane. ComicTom.com, link in the description. Let's talk about Incredible Hulk 181 at number 7, the first full appearance of Wolverine. And yo, Russ, didn't you just get one back from CGC?
As a matter of fact, this just came back last week. Don't drop it, guys.
A 9.6. Congratulations, my brother.
Absolutely. It's going to be available for sale very, very soon.
I love that he's plugging his own comics to sell in our videos. I digress. 7 different sales exceeded the recent 12-month average this last week. A total of $33,000 moved. Let's take a look at what Logan's going for this last week. We have a 4.5 year-high sale up 9%, 5.5 year-high sale up 10%, a 6.0 went for $3,150, that's up 8%, an 8.5 went for $5,200, that's up 2%, and a 9.4 had a year-high sale for $10,500. Let's give this Hulk 181 9.6 away. Thank you. I'm kidding. Yo, what is the price on this book, Russ?
So April 1st, Heritage had a sale of $16,800.
It seems kind of low,
and that
dude.
was low because there was a sale 4 months prior to that for just about $20,000, and the 2 sales before that were in the $19,000 range. 2 years ago, it was $30K. This book is substantially down.
What do you think about this in the comment section below? And is this the first full appearance or second appearance? Let's just like have that chat go nuts, because I need it for the algorithm.
I mean, I almost feel like the debate is greater with this next book on appearance, because is this the third or is this the second full appearance of Wolverine? Because Giant Size X-Men #1 here at number 6. We had 5 sales above the 12-month average that hit $8,400 in total this week.
This is the first appearance of the new team, and we have a 4.0 up 4%, 6.5 had a year high, going for $2,000, up 6%, and an 8.5 went for $34.19, that's up 4%. Now keep in mind, we got a pretty long ways away before we're going to be focused on the mutants outside of like Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. We are getting a reprisal of a lot of mutants from the past. However, it's what happens after Secret Wars that I think these buyers are banking on.
I'm assuming you're alluding to certain characters that we're going to start seeing. One of them, which I've been seeing all over YouTube a lot, is the buzz of potentially Mr. Sinister. And like, I don't know if you guys remember, 3-4 years ago, Jason Momoa was supposed to be the cast of every freaking character across any universe. Now we're seeing that with Henry Cavill. Yeah. I see versions of Henry Cavill for every character there is, and one of them was Mr. Sinister. And I gotta tell you, he could still kill it as a Mr. Sinister.
Well, we just had Mr. Sinister all over X-Men, the animated series, and a lot of us 90s kids grew up with him in the OG series, and we've been waiting on Mr. Sinister to be featured in film for a long time. And I've said multiple times that X-Men 221 going for what it's been going for is just ridiculous. Have you been seeing these prices? $175 to $200 for a 9.8. I was at C2E2 just a month ago, and I saw $180 price tags on this book. It seems too low.
It's been extremely consistent too. I mean, that book has been in that price range the entire year. So yes, it may feel low, but it just seems to be where it's at. And will a Sinister appearance change that? Of course it will. We see that with Omega Man 3. We're seeing a very common book getting traction and moving. So it's low, and if you feel like that character's coming, grab it when it's low, because that's what we do.
And now we're at number 5. Hit the like, slap the subscribe button. We need your support. we have a premiere issue. One of your favorite issues we talk about. We have Iron Man #1. This is the first ongoing title series featuring Tony Stark Iron Man. The 301 for $360, year high sale up 14%. The 6.5 had 3 copies outdo the recent 12-month average, the highest for $733 up 11%. The 8.5, that went for $1625 up 6%, and the 901 for $2195, that was a year high for an increase of 2%. Now, this book has actually been on the incline ever since Robert Downey Jr. was announced to portray, not Tony Stark again, Doctor Doom. So at best, this is like a full circle, years away. He has to go through his entire villain arc to maybe become Tony again. Are people just nostalgic? I don't know, but some of these prices, I feel like they're pretty decent because I like this comic so much, but do you think that these are good right now and what they should be going for?
Oh man, it's a fairly common book as much as I do love it. So seeing it trade at these numbers is a little bit odd to see because it just feels high.
Okay.
But who am I to like dictate the future of where this book's going? Because it seems like if it's trading at this now, that only getting more Robert Downey Jr., like you said, who really isn't going to be tied to Iron Man, but more Doctor Doom, in our minds, we tie the two characters together. And so we're just going to see life in this book for a very, very long time.
I have a question for you. Fantastic Four, First Steps, July. If we see a post-credit scene of Doom's mask, does Iron Man 1 go up in value even more? Because I know it sounds weird because it's a different character, different book, has nothing to do with the FF, but this book's getting a Robert Downey effect. Will it continue the momentum it's been on for like the last 6 months?
It's hard for me to imagine this book going much higher, especially in some of these low-grade numbers. It just seems a little bit excessive. I would say it may continue the flame burning, but I just feel once we see the official Doom, we might just get more love towards books like FF5 and start seeing that on this list and other Doom covers. I just think now connecting our visuals instead of Iron Man to Doom, we might see more of a pull away from this book and more into Doom books.
And now we're at #4 with ASM 300, first full appearance of Venom. Or is it? 17 different sales, $11,000 moved in just the last 7 days above the recent 12-month average. And I want to do a special giveaway this week.
But before we get to the giveaway, I want to jump into our comment section because the top comment of the week, which we read and we are going to be pulling from, so please keep commenting because we love to see them, is a great one, specifically on this book. Let me read it out to you. ASM 300 came out on my 17th birthday, and I told many people I wanted them to grab a copy for me. I ended up with 12 copies. 11 of them are still in the original bag and board and have never been read.
Shout out to Immaculate Comics for that immaculate comment. I'm gonna send you this Marco Morazzo limited to 100 gargoyles. And also, I wanna give a shout out to everybody who tagged me over on Instagram. I said, hey, if you have an ASM 300, something unique, something you're proud of in your PC, send me a picture, post it, and we got a ton of submissions.
I love the story aspects that we're getting, so please comment more down below about a story about some book that's important to you. And the top comment, again, we'll get another special book next week.
I want to hear your stories, but also take a look at other members' stories and thumbs up the ones that most excite you. So they gotta be good. And the top comment next week, I'll send you a limited to 100 gargoyles as well. Now, Free Comic Book Day is just around the corner. I thought it would be fitting to pick one of my +2 books and place it here that anybody can go to an LCS this next week and acquire for free. You know my pick's gonna be Mark Spears' Monsters, issue #0. Go pick it up, support indie comic books, support your LCS. And look at this, Russ just came in and gave me a copy. They just came in, it looks excellent. Shout out Milgeek Comics, Russ has Monsters.
Rare opportunity, you're gonna go to your local comic shop and pick up a free Mark Spears cover anymore. So go check them out. If you're gonna do a +1 for a Free Comic Book Day, I might as well. And we're gonna do one by Post Malone, who's jumping into the comic world with this book right here, Big Rig. Haven't read it yet, gonna have to read it now because just like you just got that, Rush is handing me mine.
Also, keep an eye out for Free Comic Book Day, Spider-Man / Ultimate Universe #1. We're building up to a big crossover event over at Marvel, and we have the crossover happening finally between Amazing Spider-Man, Eddie Brock Carnage, and the all-new Venom. We just gave you 3 picks, and it was only supposed to be a +2. Hit that like button. All right, next number on the list at #3. You know, we do these scripts before the show, and this guy had some crazy hot takes, and I think it's about to get busy in the comment section. And we're not even talking about Canadian price variance.
I don't know why you say these are hard takes. I don't get it.
I think they are, dude. Number
right.
3, Fantastic Four 49. You know, is the first full appearance of Galactus. 9 different sales. $6,000 just moved. Clearly, the trailer features Galactus. We haven't seen a whole lot of him yet, but let's just get to the numbers, and then I'm gonna hit him with your hot take. I wanna hear your thoughts. 5.5 up 25%, year high sale for $720. 6.5, year high sale up 10%, going for $950. 7.0 up 3%, going for $1226. Wasn't quite a year high sale, but trending at about the 12-month average. But there are so many sales that took place this last week. People are getting primed for the July release of Fantastic Four First Steps, where we're going to see Galactus. And my question to you, Jeff, is when we do, does this book go nuclear?
Does this book go nuclear?
Be honest, what was the first thing you said? This guy first paused for about 10 seconds. I thought he was distracted. And then what did you say? I'm worried it's gonna be stupid.
Okay.
That's the quote.
He
doesn't.
And he's not wrong. I do think it's gonna be, and I'll tell you why. It's hard for me to envision this omnipotent being, okay, that's larger than life, somehow not looking like a dumb giant oaf. And that's what we usually see. When was the last time you saw a large giant that wasn't coming off as some idiot goof?
Dude,
so
giant man. Well,
no,
he's
right.
kind of a
He
goof.
just slowly runs in his giant suit. And to see Galactus just calmly walking through the streets with his feet, like, why would he do that? Why wouldn't he, like, crush through buildings, not give a damn?
Let us know. Let us know in the comment section. Is he wrong? I am optimistic. But also, my bar for Marvel movies is so low that I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this is going to be bad? Like, I really hope it's not bad. Thunderbolts apparently is excellent. If you saw it, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. But keep it spoiler free. We just talked about a bunch of free comic book day books, and there's a lot of them, and you may not know what to hunt for because they're free. They're at LCSs. You got to, like, just know what to look for. Where can they find a full list of all of them?
I think there's an app out there.
What was the app that we like to use?
I believe it's Collector Keys.
Key Collector Comics. Download it, use my code, Tom101 gets you a free 2-week subscription. Check out the free Comic Book Day app to be ready to hunt this weekend.
It fits in your pocket. It's easy.
Number 2 on the list, Amazing Spider-Man 129, the first appearance of Frank Castle, first appearance of the Punisher, first appearance of the Jackal.
Which, don't laugh about the Jackal, because it is a really underappreciated villain if you dive into the mythos of this comic.
4.0, year high sale. 3 copies outdid the recent 12-month average, the highest for $1,075. 6.0, $1,200, year high sale of 15%. We also saw 3 copies of a 6.5 outdo the 12-month average, the highest for an increase of 14%, going for $1,300. 8.5, $2,500, year high sale up 22%. And oh Lord Jesus, there's a fire. 9.6, $67.50, that's up 8%. You told people that the 9.6 had opportunity, and dare I say, Jeff, you were right.
It's up again. I mean, when we talked about this, I was like, get rid of some of your 7.0, 7.5s, get into that 9.6, and we saw an over 10+% increase easily in the last 3 weeks on this book.
All right, don't forget, John Bernthal is actively producing and like co-writing the special that's going to be on Disney Plus next year. So a lot of hype on not just Daredevil, not just Bullseye this week, but Punisher still, which I think just further proves that the season 2 filming is just doing wonders for these collectibles.
And because the shows have been good. So that makes a difference here. It can't just be a show. It's got to have quality to it. And I'm hoping we're starting to learn something, and we're seeing that with Thunderbolts, Daredevil, and hopefully Fantastic Four.
Before we get to the number 1 hottest book in the world, did Russ send you a text this week?
He did.
All right, you got it too? All right, so there was a crazy sale, and this is what happens within all of our friends, because we're all comic fans, and this is all we do. We just send out crazy deals that we see in the marketplace, and we got a text from Russ, and he's like, holy hell. Yo, Russ, what happened?
So I was watching the Monday Heritage Auction. Nothing special, nothing like I'm worried about that this is the,
You're just
featured
watching.
Just watching the random auction. All of a sudden I see an ASM 1 pop up on the stream. It's a 5.5. And it goes for under $10K before buyer premium. $11,000 for a 5.5 seems really, really gross. And even with the grease pen writing on the front, I'm excited to see what happens when the person who bought it removes the grease pen and regrades it because that book's definitely going up.
All right, it just went for around $11,000. What does this book in this grade go for typically?
I mean, a fair market value for this book that's a solid off-white to white pager, somewhere around there, and has decent eye appeal, it's going to be around a $16,000 book.
Woo, someone got a deal.
Heck of a discount.
Thank you, Russ. All right, the number one hottest book in the world, out of nowhere. Todd McFarlane's Batman 423, the iconic cover. It's perpetually relevant. It's being purchased every single week in high mass, just like ASM 300, just like Incredible Hulk 340.
10 sales above the 12-month average for almost $4,000 spent. Here at number one, like you said, really out of nowhere. To see this at the top of the list is no surprise, but it's a little bit of a surprise.
All right, so we definitely have some stuff happening in the comic books. I mean, Absolute Batman taking the world by storm over the last 6 months. One of the number one best-selling comics right now. But the news as it pertains to Batman on live screen with James Gunn, seemingly so far in the distance that people aren't even really banking on it. But the Robert Pattinson, the Batman movie, number 2, ooh, it's looking grim. We're hearing rumors that it may get canceled, just full stop. And Robert Pattinson, he just signed a deal to be in the next Dune movie, which apparently is filming at the same time that Batman 2 was supposed to film. Like, what are they doing over there? It's one of the best Batman movies of all time.
That's not true.
And here's the hot take. Dude, you do not like this movie?
I did not.
Who doesn't like this movie? Russ, did you like the Batman?
No.
Thank
you didn't like it?
There's so much not like about this movie.
What is happening?
Paul Dano is terrible, and I really don't want to see Barry Keoghan. I think the villains they picked are awful. I like Robert Pattinson.
Okay, they're crazy. You don't like the movie? This is nuts. Like, just flame them in the chat. 9.2 for 250, up 7%. 9.4 up 2% for 280. 9.6 up 14% for 475. Look at this sale. 9.8, the 12-month average was under $1,700. Sale this week, 2,000 up 18%.
This book I believe in. All right, like I said, that Batman series I don't. And I want to give a little context why. Look,
You want to defend yourself?
Russ got his piece. All right, I need to say it publicly too. I did not like the fact that it was so real to be putting people into a space just to have people be shot down. I thought that was just stupid, ridiculous, and not really that interesting.
I appreciate your time today.
No
as
more,
always.
I got more. And the fact that he's supposed to be the smartest detective and he can't solve a single freaking thing that entire movie and just look like an idiot. This is not my Batman. Good riddance, goodbye. I don't care for number 2. Geek responsibly.
Enough said. And that was the end of the video, Jeff. We do a lot of giveaways on this show. We did a new giveaway this show by, telling them to comment, but the weekly giveaway this week will be announced in the trending video, and it's for a Mark Spears Monsters, The Unholy One. And if you want to be part of it, join the text message group by going to comictom.com. You put your phone number in, you keep up with all of our drops, but more importantly, you're part of all giveaways we do, henceforth, forever, until the end of time. Have a great week.
If I had my glasses, I'd throw them across this room.